A long time ago, I set about building my daughters a lovely little doll's house. Now, the plan was to do this over a few years because, of course, when they're young, they're very destructive kids. So I decided to take my time over this, put it at the back shelf, back of the workshop, and do it occasionally when I had time. And over the years, I've added little things, I've changed little things, and you can see the difference between some chandeliers, and of course this one I went a little bit over the top with, and these ones I quite like them. But I also made these things, which are super cute. They're the plug sockets and light switches and little things like that that kids can stick on afterwards themselves, with a bit of double-sided tape, because they really like getting involved and they really enjoy and get a lot out of helping and doing um, with projects like this. So I also made the door knockers, doorknobs, the letterboxes, and things like that too, because there's a few doors in this, not just the front door, but there's doors upstairs. You can actually, if you could really stand there, you could actually use that to knock on the door. It really works. It's super cute. Now, these were really shiny. I know they're dull at the moment, but they were really shiny like real metal when I first stuck them on there. But over the years, they've tarnished down, they've become patinaed. Now, I did this through a company called easycast.co.uk, which was my domain at the time. So I was selling these little moulds, and it was before 3D printers and things. So these were all handmade. They're all hand carved, handmade. Even the moulds are handmade, and it's a very kind of intricate process. But the moulds are still here, and I can still produce these if you did want one. As you can see, there's loads of little parts left over too. So once I've been making these things, I've selected the best ones. I've left some to the side. They've been, some of these have been painted badly. They've got bubbles in. Some of them are rejected. It's a pile of that kind of stuff. Things that didn't make it to the house. And back in the day, of course, I did also make a video. I intended to make a video tutorial about how to use the mould, but it never made it to YouTube. I never actually bothered with it after a while. It just sat on my computer and there we are. So I'm making use of it now, just in case anyone might want one of these things. The moulds went okay. I think Etsy was the place at the time. But you can see how old it is from the quality of the video. Now, all it is a very simple mould. You have a silicone mould and a little bag of metal powder. So you sprinkle the metal powder on. The metal powder acts like a kind of lubricant too, because it helps the resin flow into the molds, prevents trapped air. The resin is polyurethane resin, and it's a very simple, easy resin to use. You have the equal parts of part A and part B, and you just mix them both together. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio, and it's quite a thin resin. It's a lot thinner than epoxy, so it flows easier into little crevices like tiny holes and gaps and things. It's really perfect for these miniature kind of things. And it's quite easy and cheap to get hold of. If you looked for polyurethane fast cast resin on eBay, you'd find loads of small little kit bottles, 500 ml or something like that, for probably around about under £10, or perhaps $5 or whatever it is. It's quite reasonable because you don't need a lot, not to make these things anyway. And when you're making these things, you're sometimes going to need more of some things than others. Like, for example, there's a coat rack there. You're not going to need that every time, so you don't have to cast the same thing. You can cast more door knockers than plug sockets and so on. So you can tailor it to how you want. And of course, it can make your entire collection. So your whole stock can be made in a few castings. And then, of course, the rubber mold is still going to be useful. You could still sell it on to your friend who has a doll's house too, So it's something that can be reused. And it's quite easy to pour in. It's quite intuitive, You just position the bucket and pour it over the top, but do it slowly so it drips into the holes and into the crevices. But being silicone, you can make sure that there's no air trapped inside there by just squeezing the bottom. Now this resin, it doesn't cure straight away. It takes a few minutes, a good 2 to 3 minutes to cure, and you have plenty of time to go ahead and pour it into all the bits that you need. So after a few minutes, 5 minutes or so, you have a hardened, fairly hard resin that can be removed from the mould. But it's not fully cured. So at this stage, you can decide to leave it there, or you can decide to peel it off. Now, when I peel these off, you can see that they're slightly flexible. The flashing around the edges, you can see that it looks like skin, and it's very rubbery. I would recommend that you don't peel it off at this stage, because they will tend to tear. You can cut them, but it would be better to put them to the side and then cut them off later, because later on they'll be harder and they just peel off. You can just crumble them off with your fingers. So it's really easy. Now, once you've demolded these things, you tend to get a pile of scrap-looking items. You need to clean them up once you've demolded them. And the way to do that is by using a scalpel, maybe a bit of sandpaper, but it's fairly easy to do. So you would cut off any flashing with the knife, the sharp knife, the scalpel, Stanley blade, whatever you have. You can sand it off. Some of it just peels off if you can break it off with your fingers, but if you've got something really intricate, you will need a little hobby knife. The most satisfying part comes when you polish these up, because they really do look like metal. So if you have some wire wool, or you have a Scotch pad, or you have a fiberglass brush like I use there, you can really polish these to a realistic metal finish. Now look how lovely that looks. The unfortunate thing about this is that because it's real metal and it polishes up just like metal, it also tarnishes quite quickly too. So if you leave these out, eventually, over a few days, perhaps a few weeks, they will lose their shine. They'll have that dull brown, brassy or copper effect, which is how they are on my doll's house. But you can avoid that if you paint them with lacquer, and that's just like a clear varnish. And you can get a clear varnish like that specially for metal, which is a little bit thinner than the usual varnish. I think there's a good one called Rustin's metal lacquer. So anyway, if you liked the video, if you liked the things, or if you wanted any of these things, let me know. I can still produce them and I can still have them sent out to you. So hit that subscribe and like button.